Okay. I'm back again, and hopefully I'm able to get all the information out that I possibly can. As I said, that the family is taking it hard, which is natural. And one of the key things that her mom said to me was, by the time they got home yesterday, they were just bombarded with people, and they hadn't even really had time to accept the fact that she was gone. So that's why I said that I would just wait until today to go, see them. Kendra has very respect. Her children are just so respectful, so respectful. Um, Seth is in, and like he said, he was going to get with his brother Reggie, because her mom was like, I'm letting her boys, run everything because it's their mom, my daughter, but their mom. But she was like, I'll never be the same again, because that was my boss lady, you know, and I could always come over here and get on her nerves. So, like I told them both, she meant not only a lot to their family, but she meant a lot to the YouTube family, because people that really got the chance to know her, that now if she had to put you in your place, she would. But overall, Kendra, for real, there are very few people I can say that you can't say a bad word about. You can't say a bad word about Kendra, and that's being from a small town, for real. You can't, because she was always the same, even in high school. I mean, she was only just a couple years older than me, so I graduated in '96. I think she graduated like '93. I mean, even in high school, she was more mature, than other seniors were. She minded her own business. She was always for what was doing right. And when I worked at the mill with her, which I worked security, and she worked inside the plant, I mean, she was always smiling and happy. How you doing? Always the same person, and she worked hard for her kids. She did that. But just to give you some information, I'm just sitting here thinking about how ironic life is, because I had made up in my mind, okay, well, I'm not gonna start back doing YouTube videos until like the end of January, beginning of February, and this happened, and I could, somebody, because her son says, was like, well, all my videos you see, mama tried to get me, I ducked in and ducked out, and her mom was like, well, I don't know anything about that technological stuff, so the YouTube community had to be informed. And even though I hadn't done one in a while, I was so glad to know that people were willing to listen and hear, this was an emergency message. This has affected us all that knew her. But let me give you some information, okay? I gave her house address, 1808 South Virginia Street, Crossett, Arkansas, 71635, if you want to send flowers. The funeral home that has her body is called Mitchell, Mittchell Memorial. And you can go onto their website, mitchellmemorial.com. And their address, if you want to send flowers to the funeral home, is 2501 Highway 82 West, Crossett, Arkansas, 71635. Let me give that address again for the funeral home. It's 2501 Highway 82, West Crossett, Arkansas. This is the funeral home that has her. When I talked to the funeral home, they said, and I talked to the family, they said they were aiming for Saturday. They weren't sure on the time yet, but they were aiming for Saturday at Westview Cemetery, because of COVID. We're not doing like indoor funeral services, so it's going to be at Westview Cemetery here in Crossett. So, just if you want to send flowers, and like I said, as the family, because I left my number for Seth to have Reggie to call me, and I do plan on going back over there tomorrow. Like I told you, that to give them time to think and see, do they need anything, or what is what and what needs to be done or whatever. I'll keep you posted and updated. I will say this, because I don't want to put too much of their business out there. This is but basically she had a bad seizure, and Seth was like, he was calling and for the ambulance to get there. He was like, it's like they were taking forever, and he was like, it just affects him to think that his mom passed away in his arms. So he's having a very rough time, you all, dealing with that, and it's rough when your mom dies, period. But I mean, just to have to go back and relive that, seeing her take her last breath is definitely tragic. Like I said, Reginald wasn't there when I got there. Jada Boo was with her grandfather. And like they say, Jada, is trying to hold up best she can. She's a strong little girl, I tell you. But she was like, that was my best friend. What I'm going to do without my best friend? Because Seth was saying, Mama and Jada could sit up for hours and talk all day long and argue and fuss. But that was her friend, that's who she did everything with. So it's just tragic. It's a lesson for all of us to learn to give people their flowers while they can yet smell them. We always want to say great things about people when they're gone. Let's learn to tell each other how we feel about each other while we're yet living and still can hear those words. Let's learn to make the most of our times. Let's learn to aim towards our goals and keep shooting for them, even when it seems like nobody else is in support of you. Keep doing what you do, because life is too short and death is too final. I heard my godmama told me that the other day, and I had never heard it phrased that way. I always heard life was too short, but I never heard it phrased that way in all my years. She said, life is too short, baby girl, and death is too final. Make a lot of sense if you sit down and think about it. So please continue to pray for the Parker family. And just know that going over there, my heart just, I'm a firm believer that you don't go break the family down. I want to just really cry with them, in all honesty. It took all I had not to cry early on this video. But not a pain. That's to be expected. And one of the key things that I told Seth was, don't let anybody tell you that it get easier with time, because it does not get easier with time. My mom has been dead 23 years, and it seems like each year it gets harder. You don't ever get over it. You just learn to cope with it, without having them there every day. But you never get over it, because holidays and Mother's Days and things like that, they still affect you. And when you make achievements in your life, you're like, how would my mom be if she saw me doing this? Or how would my mom feel? How would she react if she knew I had this or done this, or I was aiming to do this? So like I told him, you cope with this the best way that you can. If you want to scream, kick a wall, whatever you need to do, that's what you do. And don't let anybody tell you how to grieve, because you have the right to feel how you feel. That was your mama, your mom. So I hope this video reaches everybody. And like I said, I gave you the addresses, and I'll try to write them down in the description for you to send flowers or whatever it may be that you want to do, or go on to the website and maybe send some comforting words, because I think Mitchell Memorial has like a book that you can send comforting words online to the family, because a lot of y'all are way off and can't come and sign the book, but you can send those comforting words and they will reach the family. And just know that Kendra was loved. She was a bright light, and I love each of you, even though it hadn't been a while. It's been a while. I love each of you, and after this you will be seeing more of me, because life is too short and death is too final. And we got to make the most out of our failures, our triumphs, our heartaches, our heartbreaks, our pains. All things work together for the good. So y'all keep praying, and I'll keep updating you as I go. And like I said, I'll write the addresses down in the description. And God bless you. Know that I love you all.